and combat has begun. Huzzah!
Huzzah!
Huzzah! Magic powers. The swarm turns its attention towards you,
Okay.
and they begin climbing all over you.
Oh, that's not okay.
Well, Finavir, don't worry. The rats are unable to penetrate you. Wait, no.
Mm.
As you are trying to break off some of these crystals, you do notice that on one of them, your cloth kind of tears, and you do come into contact with one of the crystals momentarily before adjusting your grip.
Some days, I am very, very appreciative of your barbarism. This moment is not one of them. Got proof. We did our job.
He gives you the other half of the quest puzzle. Hello, Foundlings, and welcome back to another episode of the Gate Chronicles. This is Season 1, Episode 38. I am your Game Master and host for this series. My name is Emily, and I just went to the dentist, so I apologize. But today I am joined by...
Me. I guess I'll go first. Hi, guys. I'm Quentin. I'm the GM of the Sword Art Online Odd campaign, but here I just play humble or raging. Not humble, I get glared at by everyone. Charles Smoot, 57-year-old biology teacher, born and raised in upstate New York. Currently the individual who is able to kill everything in our latest combat.
Well, excuse you. We tried. And by we, I mean this guy and me.
Yes, that guy would be me, Jaden, who plays Finavir Avir, an aspiring bard and seeker. That means he's a bard and a seeker who has aspirations, or he has aspirations to be an accomplished bard and seeker.
Well, gentlemen, let's recap. So, you guys managed to successfully dispatch the rats afflicting Jake's farm, and you discovered that there was some kind of odd illness of some sort afflicting one of these rodents of unusual size, also called Ross. Pivot. And now, after having collected the second half of your quest piece, you head back to Lamb's Respite for the next bit of your adventure. And in fact, you mentioned you wanted to see the huntsman. So you guys walk through the main gate, and you're greeted by a few of the seekers who are actually sort of standing guard, I guess, is what they're doing. Looks like they're on their own little mission of sorts.
Like are they standing guard to the town?
Yeah.
What? I'll roll a sense motive to see if they're, like, aggressively guarding the town.
We're seekers. We have badges. They'd let us in. I don't see the problem with that.
Well, he wants to sense motive what they're doing.
I don't know if we have to turn tail right now.
Okay, so you want to sense motive if there's something awry.
Yeah, whatever I can sense about their demeanor. And
go ahead and roll.
As he is blessedly cured and learned his lesson from relic poisoning, I get to take my full roll, rolling a 22.
You can sense that these seekers seem to be low men on the totem pole, as they really don't seem to care about what's going on, and you can actually notice that they have their steel emblems sort of dangling from around their necks. They're not paying much attention, really, but they're standing guard at the gate. Perhaps it's a quest of some sort, or more like a rotating shift that anyone can pick up.
Okay. All right. As I seem disinterested, I don't feel that threatened. I guess we'll just proceed into the town unless stopped.
I was walking in preemptively just in case Smoot will pull out his seeker badge from his bag.
Okay. You pull out your seeker badge, your emblem, and you are holding it, wearing it. What are you doing?
Oh yeah, I guess it would be a necklace. So yeah, I would just put it around my neck.
Okay. They make note of it and they nod to you as you go in, but they don't really do anything.
I didn't know if there was like an enforced curfew or something, and like, oh, only seekers can come in our town this late.
It's like 8 a.m.
Yeah, it's morning. You guys...
Oh, we slept there. Big facts.
Yes. The rainstorm has passed.
Very nice.
And the ground is still kind of sloshy and wet, and you can actually see some trailing marks from wagons that have pulled in recently. But beyond that, the city seems to be at peace and busy as usual. You see Poplai's caravan off towards the center of the main entrance.
First place I'm going to the Huntsman's.
Okay.
And as his chaperones, I guess we'll follow him unless anyone wants to break off from the group.
Cece, before you head over, she speaks up.
I think I'm gonna go check on Uncle John. I think he's gonna be upset since I was gone all night. I didn't tell him I was gonna be out.
Oh, was that a requirement?
Well, technically I'm supposed to be telling him if I'm leaving anywhere, going somewhere. Especially because Amali said that he has to watch me, you know the thing. And, well, technically I'm also not supposed to be staying at the guild, but I did that, so he doesn't really know where I've been.
Would you like me to go with you to smooth things over if they don't go well?
Oh no, Uncle John loves me. He doesn't need to be smoothed over. I've already got that.
I'm so proud of you.
So she runs off.
All right. Smoot away.
I would approach the Huntsman's caravan.
Okay. Why don't you guys roll a perception check as you approach?
16 for Charles Smoot.
And 12 for Finavir.
Okay. You guys, as you begin approaching towards the caravan, feel a slight breeze in the wind sort of pick up, and you can feel that the temperature has dropped a little bit. It doesn't feel like it's as warm as it normally has been. And as you get closer to the caravan and make your way towards the huntsman's stall, you begin to sort of notice that a lot of the stalls seem to be partially packed up and people seem to be putting things away.
Oh goodness, are they leaving already? I didn't think it'd been that long. I guess they said they were only staying in town for a few days. Well, hopefully we can catch them before they leave.
It's been about a week since they've been there.
Smoot would hurriedly make his way to where he remembers the Huntsman's caravan to be.
All right. You see that the huntsman is currently at one of his stands and seems to be packing up a few things.
Getting ready to head out?
Oh. He is currently chewing on his pipe, not holding it at all, just handling whatever he's got wrapped up in a leather cloth.
I see you're back.
And he's putting things away.
Before you head out, perhaps I have something of interest for you.
Oh?
He takes his hand up and swipes his pipe over from his left to his right.
I open the bag and I kind of throw it on the ground before him.
He grimaces as you do so. Not like in more like in disgust, yeah.
Disrespectful kids.
It's more of the disrespect of the quarry. He stands there and looks down at the bag, takes a deep breath from his pipe.
What is it exactly?
A rodent of unusual size. Bigger than a cat. Captivated it myself.
Dire rat. I see.
But this one, interestingly enough, had some weird purple gemstones sticking out of it.
Uh-huh. And I want this because...
I don't know, you wanted a giant frog.
He sighs as he swaps the pipe over from his right to his left.
Are dire rats, as you put it, that common around these parts?
Relatively common, yes.
Are ones with purple crystals that make them go mutated and nutty that common?
I can't say I know that much about mutant things like that, it's odd. But I will say, I can't do much with fur that's been damaged so greatly.
He seems to kick the bag open a little bit further with his foot, and he does see, though, that you have a few carcasses in there, as well as some of the small rats, which he scoffs at.
Just take whatever you want. No, I can dispose of the rest, I suppose. I thought the mutated one might be interesting, somewhat of a trophy that you could be like, oh, look, we found this mutated creature.
As you see the creature's bodies that you've thrown onto the ground, some spilling out from within the bag, you do see the rodent that had all the crystal pieces jutting out, which you had broken off the majority of. It doesn't look very pretty, though. Not like it would make for a good trophy.
If you're not interested, I can take it back to the Seeker base. They might be interested in the mutation.
You can do whatever you want with it. It's a very common fur, and it's not in high demand right now. I couldn't sell that, especially in the next city we're going to.
Do you think any of the meat would be valued by butchers in the town, perhaps?
It is a poor quality meat, but it is a meat nonetheless.
Where's the caravan heading next, by the by?
Well, we're heading out from here tomorrow early in the morning. And from there, we'll be making several stops along the way in some of the small settlements and towns. that popped up along the road, but we'll be heading over to Senai.
I see. Well, best of travels to you.
Thank you.
And thank you for your good business.
He nods.
Oh, you read any books lately?
And what?
After a moment, he seems to understand your meaning.
Ah, yes.
Yeah, he sort of chuckles to himself, shakes his head, but he seems to swap his pipe over to the right as he seems to chew on it. But he walks away slowly.
I'll let him leave it at that.
Oh,
He stops for a moment before you walk away.
before you go, you could probably go over to Grobbin. They might be interested in your, mutant thing.
Where might we find him?
He's in the lower part of the city, off the plateau. I think it's on the west side, near the wall.
Your counsel is valued as always. Thank you.
Yes. You could sell the small rodents, though, to a taxidermist. Perhaps somebody who likes odd things. But unfortunately, I cannot sell that fur in a, affluent location such as Senai.
Tough crowd up there, huh?
You could say that. It is a very wealthy city.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I'm done here.
As am I, as I would then make note to attempt to locate this Grobbin fellow, or potentially a local butcher or taxidermist for some of the other more plain rats that I have.
Okay. Benavir, you could probably roll a knowledge local since you've been spending a good bit of time in the town.
All right. The curse has been lifted. 23 for knowledge local.
Okay. Benavir, you are easily able to navigate your way around the city at this point, and you can actually point out a few shops to Charles Smoot as you make your way through. Kelsey is trailing behind you, just sort of looking around herself. But Charles, you do happen to find what appears to be the local butcher shop, who is open.
Stopping by, I would greet him.
Good morning. I potentially have something that may interest you. We were out doing a seeker quest, and we ran across some prey, which we had to take care of.
And I will pull out one of the non-mutated large dire rats.
Okay.
I don't know whether the meat is of any value to you or not.
As you are saying this, you actually see as the smaller man behind the counter is currently holding what appears to be a boar's head on the table, and he just brings down a large cleaver, chopping it off, and then begins cutting it into bits. He doesn't seem to respond to you, but he does nod.
Would this be something you are interested in? I have a number of medium-sized ones and a few small ones as well.
He slams the cleaver into the cutting board, and he seems to walk over and pick up a slate of some sort, which he then begins writing on. And he writes on it, and then he turns it towards you. I'll take them off your hands.
Mute butcher. Got it.
Can I try to figure out if the rats are worth anything? I don't really know what he means by take them off your hands.
So you want to roll a sense motive?
You know what? That would be much more efficient. Yes, I would love to roll a sense motive. Total of 7.
It's very difficult to read this man's face, but it's even worse because he's just responding through a slate with chalk. But it seems more of a neutral response, neither caring nor excited.
In that case, can I roll appraise on the rats?
Yes, you can roll an appraise.
A total of 12.
You believe that they are worth very little. He might be able to get maybe a silver piece per carcass, and probably almost nothing for these tiny rodents.
I'd like to take out my paper from my waterproof scroll case and write down on a piece of it 3 silver piece, abbreviated, and I push it towards him.
He looks at it and smirks and seems to laugh a little bit, silently.
Can I sense motive that?
Sure.
He probably knows that you're offering him less than what it's worth.
12.
Can I sense motive that?
Sure.
What's the
10
number?
total. I rolled a 4.
All right. So, you're not really sure why he's laughing, whether or not it's because he's like, oh, I'm getting a really good deal, or it's because he thinks you both are fools, or anything along that line. Or maybe he thinks the number is insane.
Well, we'll see if he pays us.
Again, he seems to laugh a little bit silently and shake his head. He'll look at you, wave his hand as if to say no, and he'll go behind the counter and he'll bring out and place before you 5 silver pieces.
I will react to very well to this, like I just won something. Like, oh, thank you very much. I'll try to be extra gesturous since
he's mute, not deaf, right?
Yeah.
Because I spoke to him and he responded.
Oh,
it's just he hasn't been able to speak to us.
Well, I'm just I'm extra flamboyant today.
He also thinks that Benavir has an impediment.
He might. Who knows?
It's possible. Perhaps he does. We'll graciously accept his 5 silver. I'll give it all to Smoot.
Would you like the bag as well, or?
He shakes his head and waves his hand no.
All right, great, thank you, guys. I can still use this.
So I would leave the mutated rat in the bag and leave with him the rest of the rats. Smoot would look around quizzically.
Is there somewhere you want me to put this?
He gestures to the side of the counter, just beyond where it ends, almost as if it's like a employees-only area.
All right, sounds good.
And Smoot will begin just loading up all of the rats from this bag onto this counter.
He shakes his head very quickly. No.
No?
And gestures to the floor over to the side.
Oh, okay.
So before I place the first one down, I see his exaggerated expression, and I kind of just drop it off right next to the counter on the floor.
He gives you a thumbs up.
I give him a thumbs up, and then a salute as I'm walking off, carrying my mutated rat and bag.
Yeah, Mr. Smoot, I think that would have been very unclean.
What do you mean you just wash the counter afterwards? I don't understand. It's a butcher shop. You should be washing it all the time.
If they don't have antibiotics, do you really think they have really good cleaning methods?
We should sell soap. We'd make a killing.
In jest, I'll take out a clean rag and wave it around as to imply we have our own stuff tied to woe.
Yeah, but other people don't have ways of cleaning their things.
Oh.
So what if people want their stuff cleaned?
Find someone who can clean it.
As you guys are having this conversation, you hear a familiar voice call out to you. It is my friends!
David!
Oh my goodness, he comes running over. I have not seen you in so long. How are you all doing?
We're doing pretty good.
Speak for yourself. I have a hole in my side.
I thought you said it was nothing.
I played that up so we could get paid.
That is a big hole you have there.
It's surprisingly scarring over already, kind of.
It was terrible. He almost nearly died.
No thanks to you. Rebel.
Actually, Smoot, as you're saying, it's already starting to scar over. You feel on the wounded area, and you actually feel that it's pretty solid. There's almost no hole there anymore. What is it that we're doing? Are we leaving? Are we going somewhere? Where are you going, actually?
Oh, we're trading in this mutated dire rat.
And I hold up its head.
Is that thing from New York?
Oh, there was a whole sewer full of them, David. You should have been there. You would have felt right at home.
I'd like to, are we outside already?
You've been outside.
It's like a stand outdoors, I'd imagine.
It's like a partial, it's open top. Not open top, but it's like cover front stall.
Thrifty. So what have you been up to all this time?
Upscale.
Upscale?
Indeed. And he
did...
pats his pouch on the side, which you hear a very loud jingling sound from it.
Aha.
And a bit of gambling, not going to lie.
Careful with that. It can be quite the vice.
Kelsey sort of nods. But I thought you said greed is good.
Greed is good. But one must also be careful of vices.
Kelsey looks very confused and then looks over at Smoot and also then at David.
I just ignore him at this point. I think he's just a very confused young lad.
No, he's not the one that is confused. That is me. I am confused. So, again, what are we doing?
Trying to sell this mutated dire rat. You might be good at this.
I don't think I can sell that. How about you go and sell that?
All right, I'll show you how it's done, David. New York style.
No, I cannot be associated with you. I have already established myself very well here. I have actually picked up a few trade secrets in the area.
Speaking of the area and how well you're doing, we overheard that the caravan is actually leaving and headed to Senai. They'll be leaving tomorrow morning.
All right.
From what I heard, the Merchants Guild is in Senai.
David, are you hungry? Perhaps we could continue this over breakfast.
I could eat. He shrugs.
I don't want to get rid of this mutated dire rat first, but fine. We can take a break, even though the day just started.
All right, well, you can catch up with us.
right, sounds good.
I heard there's a place to eat around this way. You said I know about shops. Would I know of a place to eat close to here?
Sure. You know of a place that's close to eat. It's called That Place That's Close to Eat.
A place that's close to eat?
Wow, what a store name. Love that.
Yeah.
That's going to be the next tavern you run into. That place that's close to eat.
No, this place is actually called That Place That's Close to Eat. It's like the IHOP of the world.
Oh my gosh, it's a chain store?
Sure, there's going to be one in every city now. Now I have to write it down.
Well, we sure are. That place sounds great.
Everyone shortens it to That Place.
Oh, I was going to call it TPTCTE because IHOP's the International House of Pancakes, but it's just an acronym. But this one, wait, so it's TP?
That's what you're going to be doing.
It's notorious. It's notorious for making you have to go to the bathroom. Dude, to go to the bathroom, you need TP.
All right.
Wait, so you're going to trust him to do selling things by himself? Are you sure about this, Finnevere? I thought you were the guy that was like, I can sell anything. And he sort of pops his collar, but he doesn't have his collar anymore. He's actually switched out into like a more blended garb. So he doesn't actually look that much different than any of the people who live here. But he still has his cap and also his regular pants underneath this long tunic.
So I guess this is closer to his final form, as he did swap out one piece last time we saw him, at least.
It was the tunic, but he's changed to another one with more patterns on it. It looks much nicer. Like he spent some money to get it done.
It's just the mutant rat. We already sold the bulk of it. I'll make sure we order some food ahead of time for you.
He sold the bulk of it. I thought we still had those the things that came off of that.
Don't worry. I'll take care of it, Kelsey. He trusts me, apparently. It's flattering.
So should I go with him or?
No, you think I need a chaperone? I should be your chaperone.
Oh, no,
well, if you're offering, well, what would you like to eat? My treat.
Me or David?
Yes, if you go with him, I'll go with David. We'll get food and then we'll meet up.
By the time we get back, it'll probably be cold. You could just come with us and then we all go to eat if you're just going to get food.
I suppose. All right, Smoot, let's get these things sold.
Okay, that's fine. Gonna have to go off on my own for once. Maybe get something done, actually.
Never split the party.
You have a point.
Going to Grabbins.
All right, so Finnevere, we'll have you roll perception.
All right, perception it is.
16 for Charles Smoot's perception.
20 for Finnevere.
As you guys are walking down through some of the streets, you find yourself coming down a slight slope into a very dingy-looking area, much worse compared to the rest of the buildings that you've been near. But after a bit of walking, you go by a stable, you walk by a small inn called the Sleeping Lambs Inn, and you seem to stumble upon a very strange building which stands out among the rest. It's pretty much where the huntsman had described it, to the left side on the west against the wall. You see a building that has a very odd facade to it. It has tall marble-like pillars on the outside, which are obviously fake, and that stand at the entrance. The wall itself is covered in plaster reliefs of poorly formed, naked women. Cheap paint peels from the face of one of these unholy creatures, which honestly could be barely identifiable as women, save for the delicate parts. And there is a sign overhead in very tacky written font, Robin's Antiquities.
Wow, I've seen nicer pawn shops on 5th Street.
Why does it make me think of a Ripley's?
Now, believe it or not, let's go in.
Oh, you know, guys, I'm going to stay out here. I cannot be seen in a place like this.
Oh, you're too bougie for us now. I see how it is.
You want the honest answer? Yes. I'll stay here. You can go inside. I'll stand guard or something.
The only thing you're guarding is your reputation.
And my wallet.
I'll give him like a small portion of a ration, like a piece of dried meat, try to tide him over.
Oh, he scoffs at that.
Oh, he scoffs at that. Wow.
He's too bougie for us now, Finnevere.
Oh, well, suit yourself. I'll take a bite and put it back.
All right. So, you guys enter into this shop. And as you do, you note that the interior of this building was not saved from the owner's artful and eclectic taste. You see that There is one center large room and then 4 rooms that sort of branch off from the east and west side and one to the north, which seems to be behind a tall counter, but you don't really see anybody there at this moment. Throughout the room, in this front area, there seems to be a variety of objects scattered about, just crammed in different spots, fitting on shelves wherever there was any space, as well as onto the floor. You see statues and old-looking furniture all around, as well as a lot of really antique-looking things. It smells like old people.
Hello? Is there a bell anywhere around here?
I don't know. I don't want to touch anything.
No, neither do I.
Careful what you look at, too.
I'm scarred for life after leaving here. I'd rather be in a Ripley's.
You guys can make a perception check as you walk in further.
26 total for Charles Smoot.
13 for Finn.
God, I see everything. Oh no. This is the one time you don't want to crit. I'd rather be blind.
As you guys are walking in, you make note of a few things that sort of stand out to you. Benavir, you see very obviously in front of you is a small stone statue of an elk that seems to be just sitting on its rump, and it's looking very cutely at the sky. It has a little butterfly sitting on its nose, but it does appear that some of the, not necessarily paint, but the polish of the stone is worn away. But it would make a really nice decoration around the house. You had a house. Maybe a John's. Who knows? You see that there appears to be an old-fashioned racket and ball set off to the side, as well as a very ornate tapestry hanging from behind.
Is it that tapestry?
No, it's not. Wait, hold on,
I thought it was
hold
the
on.
one that Zora had taken down. She wanted to get rid of it.
It's 100% the tapestry that Zora had taken down.
They like threw it in the dump. Someone went dumpster diving and it ended up here.
Yeah, you see this ornate tapestry that looks really fine. It actually looks like high quality stuff, just sort of hanging behind the main desk, like high up enough that you can still see behind this huge arch that leads into the room behind it, where you see like these tall shelves that kind of line all the way to the back, almost like in a warehouse, like a museum.
Benavir loves to browse. Unless things start to sound like they're going south, they'll probably continue to browse while Smoot finds someone to talk to. Would it be, because I don't know the culture of this world stores, inappropriate to pick up something you intend to buy without buying it first?
He wants the elk. Oh, it was the racquetball set? I don't know anymore.
You're not sure exactly. You haven't spent much time outside of Taba in a lot of, like, you've been in shops, but they've been a lot of market stalls. But you haven't really been in any shops, like in the big cities. So, like, at a market stall, yeah, you were able to pick up, like, fruits and stuff and be like, how soft is this fruit? Does this smell ripe?
We're also in the bad side of town. I don't think anyone's going to judge you. Stop being David. Stop being so bougie.
You have a point. Well, when in Space Rome,
well,
do as the Space Romans do.
Let me point out, Charles Smoot, as you walk in, you notice there happens to be this very heavy-looking steel shield that is leaning up against the counter. But you also see, just above it, sitting on the desk, there is a garden gnome with a green hat, blue suspenders, and he is scowling. And it does look like it's a statue, just an FYI, Quentin.
I was going to laugh if that was Grobin.
Looks just like you, Smoot.
Actually, Charles Smoot, as you get a little bit closer to it, you can actually make out that it does have like those old facial features that you have. It kind of reminds... I'm kidding. Benavir, what was it you were wanting to pick up?
Well, he's browsing, but he's also trying to look for gifts for the party members to commemorate their first real victory on a quest that they took themselves. He'll probably walk away with this elk.
Okay.
We'll see.
So, Benavir, you start perusing. And as you begin walking down your second aisle, you hear a voice from behind you. And Charles Smoot, you also hear this voice off to the side.
Welcome to Grobin's Antiquities, home to the finest antiquities you could ever find here in Lamb's Respite. What you looking for?
And you see there is this short, stout man. He appears to be about 3 feet tall, and he's wearing a very... Wait, no, I just did the wrong thing. He's wearing a very tall 10-gallon hat.
Doug Dimmadome over the Dugsdale Dimmadome.
Grabbing Grimmerdome.
Grabbing Grimmerdome.
He's wearing a very tall 10-gallon hat, a vest, and a silver bolo tie.
It's just Doug Dimmadome.
I didn't think about this as I was writing it, but as I said it, I realized what happened.
I was recommended to come here and that you might have interest in something I possess.
Well, now, why don't I take a look-see here now, you see?
So he starts making his way towards the front.
And you, young feller, when you're ready, you come on up to the front and we'll take care of you.
Will do.
Ready your stomach. Hopefully you haven't eaten breakfast yet. It's a little, grotesque.
There ain't nothing that can hurt this old stomach. I've eaten things you wouldn't believe.
Decapitated, mutated dire rat.
Don't bother me that much.
All right, well, got a whole one right here for you.
I guess so. All right. Well, I can't do much with the bottom, but I could certainly take the head, take it to taxidermist, get it fixed up, if you know what I mean.
How much would you be willing to pay for the head?
He scratches his chin a little bit.
I've never seen one like this. Very strange. Very rare.
Uh-huh. All right. What was it?
Finavir will nose in. Or perhaps we can trade for some of your fine antiquities.
So you're looking for a trade, are you? All right, what are you looking to trade in? Hopefully not just this rat's head. All my valuables here are worth quite a good pretty penny.
Maybe we'll peruse around. Maybe we'll just take coin.
I'll look around at some of the wares that Grobbin's Antiquities has to offer.
You see that a lot of the goods are marked from a silver piece all the way up to maybe about 200 silver. It seems like it's the poorer side of town.
All right. See
what all is there, though?
But you're trying to have her come up with an entire store inventory on the spot.
Is that what you're trying to get me to do?
Yeah.
I already no.
What you gotta give a
how much was the heavy steel shield marked at?
The steel shield is marked at 20 silver pieces, and even the gnome on the desk has a mark next to it.
How much?
It's 200 silver pieces, but it has a line through it, and it's now marked down to 120.
Is there anything like a clothing, or is it usually just like a furniture type items?
It looks like a lot of furniture and a lot of like old stuff, mostly decor for the house. There is some things like entertainment, based like games that are missing pieces.
Like maybe a dartboard or something similar?
Give you a D100 roll for it.
Okay, I'll take that.
No, he does not have a dartboard set. He has a single dart.
That's a lethal weapon.
Oh, Finavir, you do find some silk thread, though.
Ooh, I love me some silk thread. Ooh, are there like maybe fabric rolls here?
We just go to Grobbin's. We ask for whatever we want. She rolls a percentile die.
I mean, that's fair. I mean, like, I ask for something that could exist there.
Yeah,
and
100%.
Then the algorithm that is the game tells me if it is.
There do seem to be some fabric rolls here, although most of the spools, I guess they're considered spools, are partially used or mostly gone.
Oh, well, I'll take a flat piece of wood or something as a spool at this point.
All right.
So perhaps something that could be cut for rags and perhaps something a little sturdier. I'm not looking for something too showy.
Okay. Sure. You find something that doesn't appear to be too showy. No, wait. I'm sorry. No, you find something that's a little showy. It's some blue glittery fabric. There's only like a foot of it left, but like lengthwise it's about 3 feet and widthwise it's about a foot. It looks like it was made for a dress or a veil.
I see. There's more fabric than that at the spool at the dollar store, but I will pick it up.
Okay. It looks like it's about 2 copper.
Jaden, this is the dollar store.
I'm glad you guys are having fun.
Oh, dramatically so.
This is the dollar store. If the dollar store allowed trade-ins.
Is there anything else that you might be looking for in an antique store?
Something to maybe hang on our doors.
Or a welcome.
So, like if there was a
wreath?
I keep thinking that if that gnome was like in portrait form, I would definitely buy it and tack it to a smooch store.
You just draw a picture of the gnome.
You're right. Oh, I'll stare at the gnome and I'll try to capture it mentally.
Anna!
He seems to catch you.
If you want the gnome, you have to buy it, you see. It's a very valuable piece, after all.
Oh, well, what makes it valuable?
All right, so let me tell you a bit about this here garden gnome. It's a very ancient antique, I'll tell you that much. Said to have been passed down from kings and queens of old. Comes in all types of shapes and sizes if you find the right ones, but very popular among collectors. I've heard that some collectors will buy the most valuable ones for over 2,000 gold pieces.
So if it's so valuable, why is it marked for 150 silver?
It's an antique, you see?
Well, it's part of the collection.
This one said to bring very good luck to those who keep it and patting on his head.
I can totally see Finnebeer loving that idea and just having a garden home at home that he pets before he leaves every morning.
Some people say it wards off evil. Get them spookamagookas all over you? Nah, just pat your garden gnome on the head, you'll be safe from all them evils.
Better be careful. This sounds more like a relic.
Ain't no relic behind it, it's an antique. That's why it's marked down.
Can I use Knowledge Arcana to figure out if it's a relic?
Yes, you could.
Okay, I will attempt to do this. I study this gnome. It's about the best I'm gonna get. 24.
It does not appear to be a relic, but it does seem to have some kind of magical property to it.
Some kind of magical property. That's how I ended up with Isabel. This sounds like a great deal. I would like to take out my fabric-wrapped rock.
Okay.
And start telling him the tale of how we found this field where it came from the sky.
So you're taking out the black rock? The pitted rock?
The black hollow rock, yes.
Okay, I needed to clarify.
Yes, the one that we just got that presumably crashed down from the sky in that field with the wheat.
All right, so you start regaling him with the tale. Would you like to use that as diplomacy to improve his attitude towards you, or?
I mean, I guess I could try to take this opportunity. I will attempt that. And as these can destroy a relationship if you roll way too low, I'm going to use my inspired roll today. That's a 26.
He seems to be nodding along with your story.
All right, so you want to trade with that?
Well, you see, I'm interested in a few things here.
All right, well, I see here you want to trade with that, but it ain't worth that much. It's a rock, so, I don't know what you're planning here.
Didn't like my space story. Or at least it didn't up the value of a rock.
I got plenty of space rocks in the back. If you want to take a look at them, you see.
Finnebeer's the type of person to get duped at these stores. He's trying to trade his kingdom for a gnome. Literally, 150 silver is almost his entire reward for killing these rats.
Charles Smith, as you're walking around, you do see that the stone elk is...
How much is it?
45 silver pieces.
I'll readdress Grobham and ask him how much he would pay for the head of the mutated dire rat.
With that head, you say, I'll give you... hold on a minute. Think about calculations here.
We've fought hundreds of dire rats, and we've never seen one so mutated like this. It had purple crystals protruding out of it. It almost bit off my arm. It's quite the story.
It is quite the story. Why don't you roll a bluff check?
What do you mean? It did. It bit my arm. Did 6 damage.
Hundreds of dire rats.
Yeah, that was...
Hundreds of rats.
Yes, but the specific
Very
wording
close.
is very important.
Oh, it's like a 9.
Yeah, fascinating story you tell me there. It doesn't matter if you bit your arm off. It just matters you brought me its head. So, let's see what I'll give you for that head. I'll give you 20 silver pieces for it, since it seems to be so rare. I haven't had one with holes in its head. Besides its eye holes. Maybe I could stick some antlers into it. And he seems to pause as he says that.
And make it a jack-a-rat.
Yeah, we'll call it a jack-a-rat. That's a perfect idea. Wait, so what were we talking about? I'm sorry. I wasn't paying much attention there.
Other than this potential jack-a-rat, do you have any other oddities at the store?
Most stuff ain't that odd. What do you mean by that?
Oh, no. I don't mean that in a derogatory way at all. I mean that more as a intriguing way. Things that people are interested in seeing. What do people normally look at when they come through here?
All right, so I see you want to make a statement when you have guests over. How about this? This here ornate tapestry I got behind me. It's very fine, of the finest quality and texture.
And you can see that the tapestry, the one that was in the guild hall, you didn't get as good of a look at it because it was hanging up and nobody really paid much attention to it. It was just an ugly tapestry, I guess. Just burn that tapestry right there. It has a depiction of the lady who is on top of the keep, the statue of the woman holding a spear and lantern. And she seems to be walking amongst for other people.
Yep, right there you see the Founders and Seekers Guild. And I see here you are a bunch of seekers yourselves, so it might be beneficial for you to have this on your wall at home.
Yeah, home. No, I was more so thinking any, like, cool beast trophies or something of the sort. Any, like, I don't know, like, three-legged dire bears or,
I can't say I've come across a three-legged dire
or
bear.
just anything of the sort, of like a jack-a-rat, you know, any...
I got this racket and ball set here.
Okay, I see what we see is what we get.
Finnever will pick up the small statue with the elk and walk over to...
Oh, what's your carrying capacity?
Wait, what does that matter?
What's your strength
How
score?
heavy is this
My
elk?
strength score is 10. If you can look it up on your laptop.
Median. Like, that's like 75 pounds.
Yeah, I need your max then.
Oh, wait. Is small, like, not like you pick it up with one hand? Is small... Well, I mean, it could be magic and weighted. I don't know.
Small is dog-sized.
Small's dog-sized.
Like these kind.
Like a small creature.
Jaden, you live encumbered, don't you? His unencumbered load is 33 pounds. And if you are over 33 pounds of gear, you're encumbered. Your maximum carrying capacity is 100 pounds.
Okay, I like this. Finnevier, you walk over to the small elk statue while Charles Smoot is having this conversation with Grobbin. You attempt to pick it up, but you can't even budge it. You feel as it is a solid stone statue of a small creature-sized elk.
Oh.
That'll just get his attention. Smoot, what about this? It's, oh gosh, what was his name?
You mean Cerulean?
Yeah, look, it's, Cerulean.
No, Cerulean's back at the stables. Are you trying to tell me that Cerulean got petrified?
No. I'm just simply saying that it's, if you're interested in elk, perhaps, elk furniture piece to help motivate you in your room.
That is very cute. Kelsey walks over and pats it on its head.
People, I want you to stop and I want you to think. Where are we putting these things?
Oh, well, we have room.
We
Wait,
have
don't-
Cece's house.
Dude, Smoot, like, hurriedly walks over, leans down to Kelsey, and whispers,
You and I both know we cannot go back there.
Wait, why can't we go back there? I don't understand, she whispers back to you.
What do you mean? Why can't we go back there? Last time that we were there, the Red Guard were looking for us.
I meant John Xavier's house.
That's not Cece's house. That's John's house.
It's the same
No,
thing.
it is not. Also, did you not see that man was also a hoarder? It would just get buried under everything. There's no decor there. There's just garbage.
I don't... Kelsey turns to Finnevier. What do you think? Should we just...
Oh, maybe we'll think about it and come back. For this item, at least.
Okay, so we're not buying the elk, right?
Yeah, I suppose.
Who's carrying him? Me? I know you're not looking at me.
I was not... I mean, I was making eye contact.
That's
with you.
correct. Yeah, you were all going to assume that Smoot was going to carry it around.
Are y'all figuring something out over there? Can I help you with anything?
You hear as he seems to slam something on the counter.
How about this heavy steel shield to protect you right good in battle?
Can I praise the shield?
Sure.
Just trying to learn more about it. Is it just a regular old steel shield? Perhaps if you had the stats up, I could maybe know what they are if I roll decently enough.
not terrible.
14 for Finnevier, appraise.
It appears to be an older design of shield, but it does have some reinforcement to it. Statistically speaking, it is a +1 heavy steel shield of common rarity, but you value it to be no more than 20 silver pieces.
Does that mean it gives a +2 to total AC, or 3
No.
even?
A heavy steel shield already gives you a +2 AC bonus. Armor check penalty is -1. Arcane spell failure chance is 15. It weighs 15 pounds.
But, so are we just saying if this is a +1 steel shield that it's a masterwork steel shield?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It looks old in design, though.
Okay.
It's kind of like your grandpa's steel shield. It ain't pretty.
Well, I am a grandpa, so I think it'll fit right in with the party.
It's about functionality.
Oh, yeah, we're a function than fashion crowd.
Yeah, we are a function over form.
Well, if, unless anyone else, I'd like to, make my, final purchase.
Alrighty, see what you looking to buy, sir? How can I help you?
Oh, perhaps one more thing. Do you have any mirrors? I need a small one, at least, and I like gesture with my hands, at least this big, which would be about the size of most of a fist in terms of diameter.
Oh yeah, 100%. He's got a collection of small mirrors. There's a small hand mirror, some very decorative. They all look very antiquated, though.
Okay. I'd like to say maybe if I could find 2 smaller mirrors, get those priced out as well, and I'll check out with that and the gnome if he lets me.
The 2 small mirrors that you find have wooden frames around them, and they're only about 5 copper each.
All right.
Cheaper the better.
Oh, would you be willing to make a trade?
Hold on 1 second, sir. I'm gonna finish up with him.
Fine.
And you said here that you wanted this gnome.
Ah, yes, you said it was a collectible, and quite lucky indeed.
Yep, this is the green hat gnome. I mean, that's what I call it. I don't know what they're calling these ones these days, but that's what I call it.
Just had a small terrifying thought. What's the size of this gnome?
It's probably 4 inches tall.
Including the pointy hat?
Oh, that's great.
Without the
Isabel
pointy
has a
hat.
friend.
Oh, without the pointy hat. How tall is the pointy hat? 6 inches?
Yeah.
It's a 2-inch tall hat.
Oh,
No,
dang.
make it 7. The hat's huge.
3-inch tall hat. That's almost the entire gnome's worth.
But the body of the gnome is about 3 inches wide, and it is a statue. It's not like a movable doll.
Does it have an official name?
According to this man, the green hat gnome.
The strange garden gnome.
An estranged garden?
No, just strange garden gnome. But I listen, this is the first one I came up with. There will be a collection.
Oh, well then I must have them all. Pokemon. As is customary in this part, perhaps a bit to haggle,
Or be haggling.
but I'll just pay the man. Was it out of character? No, it'd be out of character not to haggle. I'll try to haggle the prices down a bit.
Okay. All right, so that's 200 silver pieces for the strange gnome we got here, green hat. And then for the mirrors that you got, it's going to be 5 copper per. I'm sorry, 10 copper per. So 200 silver and 10 copper.
Can I try to barter for having him throw in the mirrors?
You can roll diplomacy.
Okay. 23.
He seems to straighten up his bolo tie a little bit, chews on his gums a little, and then he says, all right, sounds like a deal. Slams his hand down on the counter as he says that, and then finally says, sold for 200 silver.
Sir, the price says 120.
He looks down at the price tag. I marked it down, did I? That's not normal. All right, fine. Hold on. Let's see what we can do here. Since the price of the garden gnome's already marked down, I don't know if I can part with that and those mirrors.
You know, this is a generous price. I'll concede the point and pay him the full amount.
All right, he's happy with that, and he'll take your coin. Thank you kindly. And now for you, good sir, as you were asking me.
How much did you say that the steel shield was again?
20 silver.
Would you say that it would then be a fair equivalent exchange to trade you this here rat head for that there steel shield?
I do reckon we could make a trade.
All right. Well, then I suppose we can move forward with that then.
And I put the rat head down on the table for him.
Okay. He goes under his desk and then comes back up with a piece of parchment and a quill. Alrighty, I'm just going to need you to sign here on this form. This is just indicating here that we are making a fair trade of equivalent value and that you are acquiescing to the fact that this is a fair trade and that you cannot take it back.
Perfectly fine by me. Though if you are interested, and while we have paper and pen out, there is a business proposition that comes along with the rat head.
What business proposition? Whoa. What do you want about?
Well, I just see your perfectly wonderful and very exuberant establishment here, and I just see such great potential with it. Just aside from this trade, I'm saying afterwards, if you would like to have a discussion, I do have a proposition for you.
I want you to roll diplomacy as well.
Ooh, actually not bad. 19 for Charles Smoot.
He seems to be thinking about it. And what exactly would you be wanting in exchange for a business proposition?
To pitch you with the idea? Nothing at all.
All right, sounds like a deal.
All I would say is that before I share the idea, I would like to sign some paperwork acknowledging that it was my idea and that if you were to use it, that we would be in business together.
I like that idea.
Perhaps my more...
There is no reasonable trade that you have offered for me to discuss about something that's a bid. I need to know what you're offering. Besides partnership, I don't even know how good of a partner you will be.
Well, I mean, all I'm saying is that, and maybe my esteemed colleague here, Finavir, could explain it better. Finavir, this gentleman, I have an idea I wanted to share with him about something he could do about his business, but if it were to increase profits. I'm just saying that we would be in business together because it was
I
my
see.
idea.
Allow me to translate for my,
I'm senile. But my idea is key, nonetheless.
What my elder compatriot is trying to say is that this idea is could be so revolutionary, it could increase your profits somefold. And of course, there would be no asking price up front, only a portion of what you have to gain from this idea. Basically, it's pro bono. It means that
I know what it means.
all that he's asking is for a share of the increase that this idea brings to you.
All right, so my question then is, what percentage of an increase are you looking for before I go signing paperwork about if you share an idea with me? Because that could be dangerous stuff over here.
Of course, as you would be exerting the risk, you would take the majority cut.
All right, well, there's technically under certain regulations I gotta go through because of my association with the Merchants Guild, this being a reputable establishment and all that. Yep. Yeah. Using the terminology being in business with a partner requires that partner also be involved in the Merchants Guild.
I see. Well, unfortunately, we're not in the Merchants Guild.
I see.
So unless there's a way to skirt past this unfortunate roadblock, it looks like we may have to bench this potentially profitable idea for the moment.
Question. You can't go into business and have a joint share of a business with someone who is not in the Merchants Guild. But if we were to be considered employees of your establishment, would we still need to be part of the Merchants Guild? Meaning, if you wanted our idea and you were going to pay us for our idea, you would just pay us as employees and not joint partners.
I told you, he's great with ideas. Look at this one.
He looks back and forth.
Are you part of the Seekers Guild? You have time to be employed?
We wouldn't work. Our work would be the idea that we provide for you. The payment that we would receive would only be whatever profit that this idea generates for you.
Hired on as your personal Imagineers.
All right. So let me get this. You want me to hire you basically as employees to receive pro bono a value or sum from whatever idea the profits yield.
Yes, we would be hired on as employees, but only be paid a percentage of the profits generated by our idea.
He pauses for a moment.
I don't know how that would work, seeing as an employee, that means you have to give certain hours and you have to work here.
Wasn't that determined by the business owner themselves?
Actually, that's determined by the Merchants Guild.
What are the regulations as per outlined by the Merchants Guild? Is there any way where we could locate this information and we could come back with a more refined proposal at a later date?
Goodness gracious, Harry. If you're interested in the Merchants Guild, I recommend visiting one of the larger cities that are established by the guild. Not this guild here, but the other guild. There's too many of them nowadays. You can visit any of them. There's one in
Sinai.
Yeah, there's one in Sinai. There's one in Taija. There's one in Korath, New Eden. And those are the ones I can think of off the top of my head. To be honest, I've only been to Sinai.
How is it up there? I hear it's a bit upper crust.
He smiles.
Indeed it is. Them people, they are something else. Quite wealthy.
How's the average demeanor?
I don't understand what you mean by that question.
Well, there are places that you don't feel welcome, places that you do.
I can't really say, as I was mostly there on personal business and for merchanting business, and most of the Merchants Guild members are tight with money.
Well, that's fair. No need, I didn't mean to trouble you. All right.
I mean, if you're interested in going over to Senna, I do have a request up there at the guild.
Oh, were you the escort quest for needing guards for Sinai?
Escort? I don't got no escorts.
No, I'm saying we would be the escort.
Oh, yes, I need... Wait.
No, I mean, we would be the bodyguards, effectively, or the transport for you.
He's still stuck on the fact that you called yourself an escort.
Oh, I'll be your escort if the price is right.
Oh.
I wish I was playing a dumb character.
Kelsey's just in the background shaking her head. Oh my, I can't.
All right, Smoot, I don't know if there's much I can do for you.
That's all right. But please, believe it or not, I'll live on another day.
First off, I would like for you to sign.
Yeah, not a problem. I would.
Thank you.
Grab the nearby pen and sign.
But yeah, I did have a request up there at the guild. If you were interested in picking it up, you could. It's been a little while. I've got some deliveries that need to be made up there.
Now, it mentioned that we would have to provide our own transportation.
Indeed, you would.
I mean, is walking on foot acceptable, or would we have to provide our own, carriage?
You're gonna want to have some kind of carriage with you, because if you don't, you might be quite encumbered. It'll take you a good long while to get there. I got about a month and a half left before this delivery needs to be done.
Well, you certainly are a wealth of information. Thank you so much, Mr. Grobbin.
Charles Smith, you signed on the paperwork, and you did receive a heavy steel shield. +1. Great, something to bash things with. Okay, so you guys have all of your things. Finavir, you now have on you this strange garden gnome. Its paint is a little bit of chipping in the corner, but it's kind of they got this grumpy look that reminds you of Charles Smoot.
I'm gonna call you Smoot Jr.
Do I hear this?
100%. He's not hiding it.
No, what? You will do no such thing.
Fine, then you have by the end of the day to convince me with a better name, or he will be dubbed as Smoot Jr. No help from Cece.
I mean, I think Smoot Jr. is a very good name, especially with that face. She reaches out a hand as if to ask to hold it.
Oh, yes, of course.
So she takes it from you, and she seems to hold it up as in comparison to Charles Smoot. Oh, yeah, no, I see it.
You know what? I don't need to take this from you people. I'm going to go find David.
David is outside as you are all going out there together. He's standing out there. He's just kind of jamming to something. There's no music. It's just, he seems to have a song playing in his head.
All right, David. Well, we're done our business at this location that's too sketchy for you, I suppose.
Oh, God, you came out quite alive. I was very worried about you guys.
What do you mean? He's a very nice gentleman. In fact, we might be escorting him.
David pauses.
To Senai.
Bodyguarding him as he travels. Get your head out of the gutter, David.
Oh, that is what you mean. Okay, that makes more sense, but I would say, why would you be going to Senai?
It was just a passing thought.
I heard that it was a good distance away, but I did hear that the Merchants Guild was up there.
I did too. I'd very much like to learn more about them.
That might be why we're going to Senai. I know you and Finavir both had interest in it. Personally, I'm more interested in finding out about this far traveler who we heard about long ago.
Well, we're still gaining our experience in the field. You also had interest in delving that ruins that we found you near.
Indeed. So, I mean, there are a number of options, but I guess first and foremost, we should probably turn in our quest.
Oh,
yeah.
yes, of course.
I forgot about that, honestly.
How did you forget? It's payday, people.
There have been bodies and rats, mostly just the rat bodies. Yeah. And then we gotta walk up all those steps.
Well,
David, is there somewhere we can find you at reliably?
Reliably? Probably. I've been actually staying up on the upper tier called Liara's Restful Inn. I think she's supposed to be one of the founders that is from this location.
I think I remember hearing about that place as well. Or at least about the founder.
Oh, you mean the chick with the spear and the lantern?
Yes, that woman.
All right. Well, now I have a name to the face. Well, David, unless there's anything else we want to talk to him about, we'll probably catch up with you later. We got to turn in this quest because we got a prize pot of 700 silver to get.
When you guys are done, we can meet up. We can go to that place that's nearby. You know that place?
Yeah, that place.
Close to eat, yeah.
Yeah.
It might be a little far from here, or from there when we're done.
Yeah, technically it's near the main entrance on the first plateau,
That's a little far away. That's that place that's far to eat now.
Well, it's that popular place, I guess, right now. But it's just that place that we.
It is that place.
Yeah.
This conversation, I'm already lost.
Oh, come on, Kelsey. Keep up.
Is it feasible to still make it there for breakfast?
What? Breakfast? Why are you worried about breakfast? I want to turn this quest in and get my money.
No, breakfast by the time you go up and turn in your quest will probably be over as the sun is starting to rise higher in the sky. You estimate it's a little bit later in the morning, and if you don't hurry up, you would miss it.
We may have to take a rain check on that. Rain check on breakfast, at least. We'll figure it out. I'm sure we'll have time.
All right, that sounds good to me.
All right. In that case, we'll catch you later. It's very good to see you, David.
All right, it was nice to see all of you. I'm going to go and finish with the upscaling.
Best of business.
I'm doing great. He smiles and walks away. So, you all begin making your way back up to the keep of Lamb's Respite. And it is busy, as per the usual.
The only thing I would really change about this place is the wait time at the information desk.
Well, it's probably because there's only 2 girls there. Actually, wait. Nope, today it's 1.
Kelsey, you should just be at work at the information desk. Imagine how much smoother this place would run.
I don't know if that's a compliment or you're just trying to get rid of me, Mr. Smoots.
Well, it's a compliment. You're very efficient. You're easy on the eyes. You'd fit right in with the other 2 ladies. It is a very important part of working at a front desk that you have to be at least mildly attractive.
She blushes slightly, not sure how exactly to take that. It's an odd statement that she hasn't heard very often. At least definitely not from anyone in this party.
Well, if that's the case, Smoot, I don't know if you cut it in the biz.
No, I'm not easy on the eyes. I'm not good with people, as we've already established, and I am certainly rugged but not attractive.
Maybe we could start like a pinup girl thing with bathing suits, except not with you guys.
Oh, I don't want to think about eating in a bathing suit. Too much leg there.
Finn goes like real close to Smoot and goes like, "What's a pinup girl?"
So you know what calendar, right?
I'm aware of records of time.
Okay, well, back where me and Kelsey are from, pretty much everyone would own a calendar and keep track of the days as they went by, and we would schedule events and such. But the very important part is that on pinup calendars, you would have pictures of scantily clad members of the opposite sex, and you would sell them as charity and fundraising. So, for example, you'd have like a firefighter's calendar where there would be men completely shirtless with rippling muscles, hosed down with water hoses and all kinds of things.
Kelsey enjoyed that way too much.
And then for like guys, you'd have like scantily clad nurses on calendars.
Yeah, I was just why don't announce to the whole world that you're less reputable.
Yes, less reputable. Yep, that's exactly what that is.
I'm on with the taco idea. Not sure about the calendars.
They would sell.
Oh, they sell.
Like tacos.
Well, maybe not here, Kelsey. You got to think people don't use calendars as much.
What if, and just hear me out, what if, Mr. Finnevier, you're really good at sketching, right?
I do like to draw. It calms me down.
Kelsey, we're not making him draw hentai.
It's not hentai, Quentin.
We're not generating the first Playboy magazine.
All right,
that's closer.
He gets out his sketchbook and pen, and he starts drawing, intentionally keeping it away from of Smoot until it's finished.
It would be like at Robin's Antiquities. It would be like the women on the outside, except they would have coverings over
just the delicate bits.
The delicate bits is the delicate way to put it, yes. Anyway, let's go turn in this quest. Kelsey is getting very embarrassed during this conversation.
You brought it up. You don't get to be embarrassed.
The more I talk about it, the more I realize I am ashamed.
Smoot gets in line for the information desk.
All right. And it takes about 10 minutes, but you do make it up to the desk. Hello, as my sister would say, and welcome to the desk. The information desk, I'm sorry. How can I help you?
We are here to turn in our quest token.
Oh, congratulations. Thank you for turning it in. And let me see. Yes. And you hand over the small quest token, which was originally a puzzle piece, and you have completed it, held together sort of by some sort of magnet. She takes it from you. You noticed as you were fiddling with it and putting it back together, it had a small sort of symbol on the center of it that kind of looks like a skull and crossbone. Yes. And then she flips it over. All right, this is this number. All right, perfect. Let me just get you your reward then. So she takes it and she walks to the back of the room and returns with a relatively hefty sack of coins, which she places on the counter. All righty, here you go. We increased the value of the reward from 750 silver pieces. Of course, this was done mainly because we heard about the situation that occurred during the quest.
Oh, you heard already? Wow, news travels fast in this place.
Amazing.
Well, heard in a sense.
Well, I don't mean to hold up the line. Is there a big line behind me?
Of course. You can hold up the line if you want. You had to wait 10 minutes.
Do it.
We've waited our time.
I'm going to try to make it quick. I respect the people. Anyway, how much is it usually to, say, hire, or can Seekers even hire other Seekers for, say, training purposes or such, or?
Technically, you can hire other Seekers to assist you, but I will say that the prices are set based on their values. It is not done through the guild.
I see. Thank you so much for your information. Anyone else, or are we good?
What exactly you mean you heard about the situation? I just want to clarify.
Well, you of course carry your emblems, do you not?
Sure.
Yes, ma'am.
She smiles and that she doesn't respond beyond that.
All right.
Good enough for me.
Take the money.
I would take the sack off the table.
It is a pretty hefty sack, and actually, they increased the amount of the sack by about 950 silver, so that it is a value of 1,700 silver.
Over doubled it.
It's somewhat of what we call hazard pay.
Oh, we will graciously take this. Thank you so much. Please have an excellent day.
You as well. All right, next.
Okay. So I guess we get a table and we split the bounty evenly.
We gotta find Cece.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
She went back to John's house.
Oh, well, this is a really nice surprise. I'll say that much.
I'm certainly not going to argue.
What did she mean by hazard pay?
Well, I don't know. Maybe they weren't expecting mutant dire rats.
I'm still concerned about the hazard pay part.
Well, what if we get mutated and then go crazy and have purple crystals shooting out of us now?
Kelsey.
We were exposed.
Kelsey just takes a long pause and slowly then sits down at the table.
Okay. I think we'll be okay. I hope not. I hope we don't have a problem with that.
I suppose we should pick up our other member and distribute this evenly.
I think...
Objections?
No, I'm fine with that. I think she's down at John's house, or John Xavier. What do we even call him?
John.
I guess.
Mr. Xavier to you, I don't know.
We could always ask him his preference if it really mattered. So I guess we'll make our way that way?
Okay, so you guys begin making your way outside once again, carrying the heavy sack of coins. Did you divide it up a little bit already? Or just decide not to?
Not yet without Cece.
All right, Charles Smoot, more than likely you would be the one carrying the coins.
Very correct.
It's, we're using Pathfinder standard for weight, which is...
What, 1 pound per 50 coin?
Yes.
So 1,000 coins divided by 50. Oh, sorry, 1,700. About 34 pounds.
Yeah. So you guys are making your way down, and Charles Smoot is carrying the sack of coins, which heavily jingles every time he takes a step.
So, Kelsey, I apologize I didn't get to mention this in the heat of the moment, but I am unexplainably excited at the results of your venture, your first use of magic.
My what?
You remember, we're fighting the rats and you said you wanted to try something.
Oh, yeah.
You swayed your hands and I glue with a yellow aura. Not too similar from the one that I can do with rocks, the sturdy one's resolve and fortitude.
She smiles a little bit.
Yeah, I don't know. I felt like I could.
Yes, and that's how it works for some people. There are those who have to study their entire lifetimes just to make an increase or to make something more or do something advanced with the energies of nature. And there are those where the energies of nature flow through you as in your own nature.
Like Avatar.
Avatar.
Yes,
Blue people?
Like a
no.
representative symbol of something.
Avatar, the Last Wind guy.
A fantasy novel?
Yes.
Well, it was a very exciting day when I learned about my abilities and that it could come easy to me. There are risks involved. I was wondering if you would be interested in perhaps taking some lessons or personalized training from someone more experienced. Maybe not myself. I mean, of course, I can tell you everything I've learned, but maybe an instructor, my treat even.
She firmly shakes her head. No. She seems relatively hesitant for some reason, but she says,
No, I don't think that would be a good idea.
Oh, well, that's okay. I didn't mean to rush you into any decision or anything. I was just very happy for you.
She seems to put her hand to her forehead as if something is bothering her, but she doesn't say anything else. She just simply smiles at you and then nods and continues walking. actually taking steps to move away from you.
Can I try to interpret this body language?
That would be considered a sense motive you may roll for.
This is where the dice can hurt you in ways that damage can't.
Emotional pain. The dice are hurting you today.
My feelings. That's an 8.
Finavir, you must have said something wrong. She seems very upset with you, and perhaps this could rupture your relationship.
I blew it. All right, just give her space.
And you guys, I'm sorry, I shouldn't laugh at Finavir's pain. And you guys do make it to John's place, which is apparently on one of the higher tiers or plateaus in this region. You can see, though, that it is slightly cleaner than when you guys first found it.
I'll go straight to the door. Knock, 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 knock.
It takes a moment, but you hear as a latch on the door comes undone, and you see that it opens up, and it appears that John is inside.
Good morning, John.
Good morning. What brings you here?
Well, we had a rather successful venture, and we wish to split the reward amongst all members. Speaking of,
yes, she's right inside. Come on in. He opens up the door wider and gestures for you to enter inside.
Oh, Cece.
It's payday.
Do you go inside?
Oh, yeah. Well, say that while stepping inside. I should have specified.
Indeed.
Okay.
Carl Smooth would follow in.
Okay, so you guys enter into his home. There are some things that are shoved off to the side, which appears to be a sort of mudroom area with a place for hanging your coats. The floors are made of wood. The room opens up directly to your right, and you enter inside. You see that there is a small wooden table leading sort of into another room, which appears to be the kitchen. And to the left, there is a small fireplace, as well as a staircase nearby that. And Cece appears to be in the kitchen at this time.
Oh, Cece, or should we say Brunhilde?
Cece's just fine. You can call me that. We're here, so it's
Well,
the secret name does not need to be used.
Officially, Brunhilde made a hefty sum. So you tell me.
Yeah.
You hear as John walks up behind you guys. You know, we could always just change it back, right?
Yeah, but still.
It's up to you. Anyway, have a seat.
Thank you. If there's a clear enough spot on the table, I will begin divvying out evenly all the silver.
Okay, it takes you some time, but you're able to count out all 1,700 pieces, which you attempt to divide evenly, I'm assuming, amongst all 4 party members.
Yes, I would.
Cece appears very excited, as this is the first time that she has earned this coin on her own. Not really on her own, but this is the first time she's earned coin. And congratulations, guys, you have money. More money. Finances.
All right, let's see. It looks like that comes to 425 silver each.
Sweet, this is awesome. All right, so what's next?
I think maybe we'll take a short break from the more, how you say, adventurous quests. And what was it that you said, Kelsey? She mentioned something about 3 days of not doing crazy stuff.
I think I said something along the lines of, let's not and say we didn't, or really just take a break. But I don't know. Mr. Smoot, you always seem to be in a rush, and I mean, I understand why.
At the same time, just peddling random stuff that I back in my old village, it would take me months to get anywhere close to this kind of payout.
Troll Smoot seems somewhat lost in thought.
How about we at least take the rest of the evening to decide what we do? We rest, relax, get a good night's sleep in an actual bed again, and then we can reconvene tomorrow morning and decide where we go.
You know what? That sounds like a good idea. I actually saw some things in the market that I wanted to pick up.
Oh, I saw some things too, so maybe, we could go shopping.
That's fine by me. So I guess that's what we'll do, and then maybe meet back up tomorrow, everyone?
That sounds like a plan.
Where do we want to meet up at?
Should we just meet at the keep, then?
Perfectly fine by me.
That sounds reasonable enough. And I think we all know where each other's dorms are at this point.
Well, I mean, we can just meet in the cafeteria.
That as well. So say 8 a.m., 8:30, 9.
Those times are fine. I'm just not sure exactly how to tell time yet.
Oh,
I don't have... I guess, what do you guys use here?
Oh, you just look at the sun. You get taught it when you're growing up.
John seems a little leery at the awkward questioning.
At the mention of keeping time, Charles Smoot would look at his watch. It doesn't function, does it? It is a mechanical watch. It's not battery powered.
You haven't wound it in a while.
Charles Smoot will be disheartened and then begin to wind it to see if it actually functions.
It's working.
Oh, aha.
So Charles Smoot, you look at your watch. It's functioning. It's ticking. Although the time is very off. At least you assume it is.
What time does it say on the watch?
Noon.
Can I roll survival to determine roughly what time it is in the day?
Sure. Need a thumb dial.
Charles Smoot doesn't need no sundial with a total 30 on his survival check.
Yeah, so you can tell that it is probably about 10:30 in the morning.
At the fact that his watch works, Charles Smoot would be ecstatic. He would basically be jumping up and down, hooting and hollering for joy.
Huzzah, it works. Oh my goodness, this is amazing. Oh, best gift Joy ever got me.
John, Kelsey, and Cece, I can't speak for Finavir, but all these people are staring at you. Kelsey kind of looks, and then she sees what you're gesturing at, and she then understands. But the other two are still very confused.
Yeah, he does this kind of stuff sometimes. He's really weird, Uncle John.
Ah, but we love him anyway.
No. You don't understand. This was the watch that my wife gave me for Christmas, like 17 years ago.
I keep forgetting that you were married. Wait, you were married for 17 years?
More than that. Jeez, we were married for 25 years.
Oh, congratulations.
Word.
And he just dwells on that word for a little while.
And it's gone.
However, one of my most cherished possessions is this watch, and I refuse to part with it no matter what it was valued at, even being made out of solid gold. But
You see that John's eyes seem to light up with that comment.
Did you say solid?
of course, she wasn't cheap. Joy had a very expensive taste. Trust me, I know. That's where most of the credit card debt came from. But the point is she would not buy plated. Oh, no. This is solid gold. The band, the facing, everything.
What did she do? Selling these tacos you mentioned?
No. She was a lawyer.
John is looking more and more lost in the conversation. He actually leans forward, though. Do you mind if I take a look at that?
Absolutely, I mind. What are you looking at it for?
I'm honestly very curious as to how it functions and also about its value.
Well, the value is irrelevant if you want an educational bit on how timepieces work. Be very, very careful. I'm surprised this still works at all.
It would be an open-face glass watch so that you could see the working of the cogs behind it as well, because those are my favorite kind.
So you let him look at that at least?
I would allow him to look at the watch while it is still on my wrist.
He's looking at it, and then he seems to take the metal arm that he has, and he kind of places it on the table, like that is while it's attached, and he kind of fidgets a little bit with the finger mechanics, moving them. And you see that there do seem to be somewhat similar mechanics visible in the arm piece as well as in the watch. Not less steampunky, though. Still kind of futuristic looking, but you see that there are mechanical pieces working inside of it.
Now there's an amazing piece of machinery. I'll point at the arm.
I think my watch is pretty cool myself. Also, it has sentimental value.
How long have you had that? I'll just start studying his arm, since he has it out and open and all that.
About 10 years.
Do you ever get used to it? Can you feel through it, or...?
I can't feel anything through it, but it works pretty much the same as a regular hand and arm.
Is it as strong as your other hand?
You care to test it?
Oh, not me, but I think maybe Mr. Big and Brawn himself. Nudge, nudge.
I'm sorry, stand by. What's going on?
Charles Smoot was entirely fixated staring at his watch.
Try to test out to see how good the arm is. Arm wrestle, perhaps?
Which arm is your watch on?
I believe Charles Smoot is left-handed, so I would have put it on his non-dominant, which is his right arm.
Okay. Yeah, all right.
Which,
It's his left. He's
his
left-handed.
Oh, perfect. We're evenly matched.
Well, he was left-handed, but...
He still is.
Yeah. All right. Care to try?
I feel like that's cheating, but fine.
So he basically places his elbow on the table and gestures out with the metal arm.
I would meet his grip.
Which is more like a solid kind of plating, but it feels very heavy as you grab onto it. And actually, like, the clinking of metal is odd, but the structure of the mechanics underneath almost feel like a palm. It doesn't feel like skin. It's definitely odd, but it has similar shape and not really texture, but just has that feeling.
I will meet his grasp.
All right, hold on. I don't know what his strength score is anymore.
Cheatingly high because he has a metal arm.
Well, the arm has its own.
I'm sure it does.
All
Can
right.
Finn try to like do that thing that people do behind boxers and like massage his shoulder? Like,
And
come on, you got
this
this, champ. Come on.
corner.
Sure. Ready? Roll
can
your strength.
Can I use encouraging words?
No.
Aw.
No.
What was your roll?
7.
Don't worry.
You crit fail.
7.
We're tied.
He looks very surprised by this. He's like, okay. All right, give me 1 second. Hold on.
Give me 1 second. You
Just have to
think I'm
adjust some things here.
Young
He seems to
whippersnapper thinks he can beat me.
shift the arm a little bit against the stub that's left.
Oh, young kids beat me. I was a wrestling coach for 17 years.
You can do this, Smoot. Just think of those times where your veins get all bulgy and you look like you can do anything.
During the second attempt, I will go into Barbarian Rage.
Wait, have you...
That hit a die,
What
but
was it?
it hit a die
What?
upon landing, but it is a crit fail.
I crit failed too!
Did you really? Amazing. Wait, what was his total? Mine is 5.
His is also 5.
Oh, goodness. Okay, let's
Oh
try this
my
again.
gosh.
Round 3, fight. 15 total.
Okay. You feel as the arm sort of gives way, and it goes over to the side. You actually do win this arm wrestling on that one.
Huzzah! I always knew that man was better than machine.
He just pauses and he looks at his arm. Probably need to oil this thing more. It's not doing too hot. I haven't been out on a mission for a while, though.
That's pretty impressive.
We'll just say his arm is in technical unmaintenance state. You guys finish up at John's house. You had a nice time. However, the girls go out and attend to their own shopping. What does Finavir do really quick? Does he go meet up with David?
Yeah, we could say they have a nice lunch date.
Okay. You guys have a lunch date and you talk a little bit more about merchanting, and you also learn a few more things about the Merchants Guild that we'll discuss at another time. Meanwhile, Charles Smoot, what do you do? Where do you go? Since you're the one that kind of suggested that everyone go do some things and focus on themselves for the rest of that day.
Indeed. Charles Smoot actually wanted this time for himself, seeing as he very seldom gets the opportunity to be away from the group. However, he has some business he should attend to. He's going to, in the privacy of his own room in the Seeker's base, open this letter that Zora gave him. Not really sure of what the contents are. He wants to keep it somewhat secret.
All right. So what I'm going to have you do is you are going to roll a linguistics check, especially because your character has technically, based upon Pathfinder rules, it takes actually, I think, a month, like 20 days or so to actually learn a language. So you guys haven't technically learned it all, so you need to make a linguistics check.
Yeah. 8 total.
Okay. What's your take 10 on that?
So take 10 would be 13. He would take his time, look over his notes and his How to Read Arthdal for Dummies book provided to him by CC.
Yeah, there you go. So essentially, it takes you a lot longer than it would if you actually had studied better. And you need to take more time to study, you realize. But
Now that I think about it, I don't even know what I signed earlier today.
yeah, you've been signing a lot of things. You've just been taking people at their word, honestly. Your character takes about an hour and a half to fully translate the letter, at least to an extent where it's legible. And strangely enough, some of the letters do translate over into your English, although some of it does seem spelled wrong.
Gosh darn phonetic languages.
But Charles Smoot, you may go ahead and read the letter.
Let's see if I have this right. Yet to Senai, find out what the bar traveler was doing there. If we have these answers, perhaps then oh no, then that's right. We can track him better. Be aware there are reports. Oh, well, that's the next bad of him showing hoop and to Prices at the seam Tim. It seems he is a magician. Why does that translate so well? Lord Eden.
The butchering of the phonetic language.
This is what it actually looked like, by the way. Because it is phonetic, so it's Ray Priots.
Well,
magician was such a pain.
It's phonetic, so it's pronounced properly. It's just
Spelling weird.
spelled odd. But Charles Smoot is not very efficient with the language yet. So,
Well, I guess that gives me a reason to go to Senai now. Good thing everyone already wanted to go there anyways.
well, I think with that, we're going to fade out from here. You all, essentially, after finishing up your tasks for the rest of the day, take a moment and rest until the next day. And this is where we're going to end this week's episode of The Gate Chronicles. Thank you, Foundlings, for listening to another episode of The Gate Chronicles. We want to give a big thank you to our supporting producer from Patreon, Luke Simmons. Thank you. And we also want to give a big thank you and shout out to Michael Ghelfi and Will Savino with Music D20 for providing a lot of the ambiance and music in today's episode. Please go and consider supporting them, guys. Their links are in the description below. And remember, Foundlings, if you want to support the podcast, there's many ways you can do so. One is by telling a friend. And I know you guys have been telling some people because I noticed that there's a lot of you listening now, and that's really exciting. Hey, if you want to say anything to us directly, you can always send us an email at info@missingroleplayerfound.com. So, yeah, go ahead and shoot us an email if you want. Otherwise, you can also join us in our Discord. That link is in our description below. And in our Discord, we're working on this, but you can come and chat with us, hang out, and chill if you really want to, I guess. I mean, you got to say hi, though, once in a while. Also, make sure you guys are keeping up to date with us on our social media accounts by following us there on Twitter and Instagram, as well as on TikTok at RollFound. We also do have a Facebook page, which is Missing Role Player Found. So go and follow us there, guys. You can support the podcast also by going to our website, missingroleplayerfound.com. That's missingrollplayerfound.com, and picking up some merchandise where we have hats, stickers, t-shirts, and more. And if you want to support the podcast in another way, consider going to our Patreon and donating to the podcast monthly. And doing so, you can get access to early releases of episodes, bonus content. All right, Foundlings, I believe that's it from me. Thank you, guys, and we'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye.